The Chicago Bears offense falls flat yet again. It was better tonight, but not good enough. The Chicago Bears lose to the Texans by a score of 19-13 to drop to 1-1 on the season. What's going on, guys? I'm back with another Chicago Bears reaction video, which I'll be doing after every single Bears game this year. I'm sorry this video is out late on Monday because I was actually at a watch party last night in Chicago and got back home super late. My car actually lost its battery after I forgot to lock it, so I had to call roadside assistance, and that was a whole mess. So it was a bad night for me for sure. I got back home super late, so it really sucked, especially with the Bears losing as well. But guys, I'm not going to overreact about this game, okay? If you guys are looking for overreactions out of me on this channel right now, you're not going to get those because it is only week 2, right? And until we see these things consistently happening the entire season, like if the offense is still this bad, by week 8, week 9, then I 100% will hit the panic button like the rest of some of you guys. But the Bears lost to a contending team by 1 possession, okay? They lost this game by about the exact amount I predicted them to lose by, right? So I was picking a loss for the Bears in this game. I feel like if you thought the Bears would win this game, you were being a little bit too optimistic. Now, it's definitely okay to be concerned, though, about the state of the offensive line because man, they were god awful in this game, and that's been the same story our entire lives as Bears fans, where we have a new quarterback inserted in, the offensive line is still shit, the play calling also is very questionable at times, so I get why Bears fans are very concerned, but again, we lost this game by 1 possession against the freaking Houston Texans, right? And I know it did not feel like it, but those are the facts, okay? So with how good this defense is, they're going to be keeping us in a lot of games this year, regardless of if our offense improves or not, which I think our offense will improve a lot throughout the year. But I just don't get why some Bears fans are just extremely pessimistic after a game like this. Like, you would think we lost this game by like 30, 40 points with how some of the fan base is reacting. But yeah, let's talk about the bad in this game, and I'll start by talking about the offense first of all. And guys, when you cannot run the ball for shit, like, that makes it difficult on any quarterback, let alone a rookie quarterback. The Bears could not run the ball at all again, okay? Back-to-back games. In this game, Caleb was our leading rusher. Caleb had 44 rushing yards. DeAndre Swift had 18 rushing yards on 14 carries. 18 rushing yards on 14 carries. That's an average of 1.3 yards per carry. That is complete dog shit. Like, I know it's a passing league nowadays, but you still have to be able to run the ball at least somewhat in this league. And the Bears are one of the worst rushing teams in football right now, which under Luke Getsy, like, that was the exact opposite problem we had. We actually had a pretty good rushing offense, really bad passing attack, obviously, but I'm just very concerned about our total lack of a run game the past couple weeks. The blocking has been putrid up front. I feel like Swift also, maybe it's not been the best. Now, I'm not going to blame Swift, though, for the most part, right, with how putrid the blocking has been up front and some of the play calling also. I feel like on these, runs to the outside, they have been getting blown up constantly, so I'm not sure why Waldron keeps on going back to them. I'm sure he's trying to establish them, and have one breakthrough eventually, right? But at some point, you're just wasting downs on those plays because we know the Bears have not been able to run those plays successfully. And I'm very concerned about our lack of conversions on 3rd and short. Okay, again, in this game, there were multiple 3rd and shorts. There was a 3rd and 1 where Caleb got sacked. And I'm like, should that not be a run up the gut with Roschon Johnson every single time? I mean, Roschon Johnson is our power back, and why are we not using him on these 3rd and 1 plays that we cannot convert? I mean, why are we dropping back and passing the ball in those situations, especially with a rookie quarterback? So I'm just very mad about the lack of a run game so far. I thought that could be an area of strength for the Bears, but it clearly has not been. Now, talking about the passing game, it was bad. Again, if you look at Caleb's stat line, 23 out of 37 for 174 passing yards, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Talking about the 2 picks, I'm not too mad about either of them. The second one, yeah, Caleb should not have thrown that ball. Okay, that was in triple coverage. Definitely a bad throw. But the first one, it was 3rd and 15, and in those types of plays, like, you're just trying to, I guess, make something happen down the field. Now, obviously, you probably still shouldn't throw that, but I'm not going to fault the quarterback too much for just like launching a ball, on 3rd and ultra long, right? So picks did not bother me too much. I thought Caleb did make some good decisions in this game. The first drive he had was fantastic. Okay, I think he was 5 for 5 for whatever, like 50 passing yards or something like that, and the way the first drive went, I was like, damn, maybe the Bears offense finally is going to be showing up. Caleb hit a bunch of, slants over the middle, and he got the ball out quick in this game. Okay, Caleb actually had the 6th fastest time to throw in this game among all quarterbacks playing this week. So with all the pressures and sacks allowed, those were not Caleb's fault in this game, right? I know that, with Justin Fields last year, there were some games in which Fields' long time to throw was the reason why some sacks happened, but in this game, it was just, it was not Caleb's fault. It felt like, I'm not saying Caleb was perfect, obviously. Like, Caleb still had some bad decisions made and some bad throws, and his deep accuracy down the field has not been good the past couple weeks, but I'm honestly not that concerned about Caleb, maybe as some other people are. I'm more concerned about the state of our offensive line because, oh my God, man, they allowed pressure on, I believe, what was the stat? They allowed pressure on 36 pass attempts. Guys, Caleb had 37 total passing attempts in this game. They allowed pressure on all but one passing attempt for Caleb Williams. That is generationally bad. Like, that's one of the worst offensive line performances I've ever seen out of any Bears offensive line. And I've seen some very bad ones. They cannot pick up a stunt for shit. And it's got to be a coaching issue too, to some extent. I mean, Chris Morgan does have to take some accountability, because how can our guys just not pick up these stunts and these blitzes when other teams can, right? It's so frustrating. And I'm not saying our offensive line is extremely talented, but it seems like guys are kind of regressing this year. I mean, Darnell Wright had a bad game today. He allowed a very bad sack in the final drive where he just got completely obliterated there, right? I mean, that should not be happening out of Wright. Braxton Jones had some bad reps in this game. The interior was putrid yet again. Nate Davis, one of the worst signings of all time by the Chicago Bears. This guy has not been good at all and does not even practice, right? So, really mad at the offensive line right now. But again, it is early. It's only week 2. So the optimist in me still wants to give them a couple more weeks to see if they can be better. And I think they will be better, guys, because last year, like, there were moments last year where they played pretty good games. Okay, down the stretch, there were a couple of games, where I thought they looked pretty decent in pass protection. But so far, it has not been a good start to the season by the Bears offensive line. So, hopefully they're a lot better going forward. And talking briefly about Shane Waldron, I know, again, a lot of Bears fans are concerned about him, and I am as well, because he seems to be getting away from some things that were working early in the game. Like, I don't know what happened to those quick slants over the middle and, getting Caleb on the move, like bootleg rollouts and all that. Like, we did not do a whole lot of that in this game, and he also got away from, running the football. But, running the football was hard in this game, right? Because we had, only 1.4 yards per carry for the vast majority of this game. So I guess it was difficult with how the offensive line was playing to call plays in this game, but, all in all, not a good performance by the Chicago Bears offense. But switching over to talking about the Bears defense, okay, the side of the ball that is just completely carrying this team right now. They were truly special in this game. To allow a CJ Stroud-led offense to only 19 points is really damn good, especially with how bad our own offense was playing. Okay, we punted the ball a lot in this game, putting a lot of pressure on our defense, but our defense consistently made plays and got the Texans off the field. Okay, allowed them only field goals for the vast majority of this game. There were a couple 3rd and longs in which they allowed CJ Stroud to extend the play and get a conversion over the middle of the field, which was super annoying, but that is going to happen against CJ Stroud. He's such a talented elite quarterback. So I was just very impressed by how they still kept on fighting in this game until the very end. They could have allowed another touchdown at the end, but they forced that fumble. Always trying to force those fumbles, get those turnovers, and they really got after CJ Stroud in this game as well. I mean, Stroud was pressured a hell of a lot in this game. We got 3 sacks on him. Javon Dexter had a sack. Back-to-back weeks now with sacks for Javon Dexter. That's pretty cool. Tremaine Edmonds had a sack on the blitz, and who had the other sack? It was Jack Sanborn. Okay, the linebacker Jack Sanborn also had a sack in this game. So, really impressed with our pass defense for the most part, going up against a very talented group of receivers. We did not allow a whole lot down the field, again, besides for those 3rd and longs. And run defense also was pretty good in this game. Okay, we only allowed 75 rushing yards in this game, so pretty disciplined up front in regards to playing the run. And I wish we got more turnovers, but you can't expect turnovers every single game out of a defense, right? Like in this game, obviously having a pick 6 would have helped us win it just like last week, but you cannot expect a pick 6 to happen every single week. But I'm happy they were able to at least get that forced fumble in there. But man, back-to-back weeks where this Bears defense has tried to carry this Bears offense, and once our offense actually gets going, this is going to be a damn good team. But I feel like I've been saying that my entire life as a Bears fan, so it remains to be seen if that's going to happen. But leave your comments down below, guys. What do you guys think about this game? Again, I'm not overreacting too much. Like, I still think the Bears are going to be solid. The next couple of games we have are against pretty bad teams, 0-2 teams. I believe the next 4 games actually are against 0-2 teams. So the Bears have a chance to go on a winning streak right now with how elite our defense is. And if our offense can just at least be average, the Bears are going to be winning a lot of games. So leave your comments down below. As always, bear down.